evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Tuesday, May 28, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines this evening, remaining members of Law Constitutional Reform Commissions sworn in. U.S. Embassy committed to bringing more leading American firms to Guyana. Government still verifying findings with EXXON in second 2018-2020 cost oil audit, says JAGDEO. GM&CC to take DEFIANT vendors to court for returning outside businesses. Government's ICT investments set foundation for goal initiative, says Dr. SINGH. And miner dies after pit collapses at FRENCHMAN BACKDAM. Now for the news in detail. The remaining members of the Law and Constitutional Reform Commissions took their oaths of office on Tuesday before President Dr. Irfaan Ali at the Office of the President. Details in this report.
Joining attorney Emily Dodson and former opposition member of parliament and indigenous rights advocate Lennox Schumann and other members of the Law Reform Commission are Dr. Marie Correa and Everton Singh Lamy. Meanwhile, Timothy Monroe Jonas, Kamal Ramkaram, and attorney Keoma Griffith will now join several members of parliament and civil society bodies on the Constitutional Reform Commission. During his address at the swearing ceremony, President Dr. Irfaan Ali spoke about the dynamic and ever-changing nature of society and the need to make necessary reforms to the legislative architecture to protect the explosive development and to be responsive to modern justice demands. On this point, the head of state expresses confidence in the Commission continuing its work and delivering exemplary service. He noted that the Guyana government is pleased with all the appointments and new voices, which will play an integral role in ensuring the country remains competitive and efficient as its citizens enjoy a high level of judicial service that is complex and not complicated.
The type of representation that we see, it also shows that our country is bringing the next generation of important human assets into the frame of decision making at very high level, and also being part of what will be the fundamental basis for a nation in its constitution and also in the law revision commission.
The Guyanese leader added that the commissions will allow the country to keep abreast with developments while supporting a modern legal framework, which will ensure that Guyana's development trajectory is relevant to the world. He explained that investments have and will continue to be set aside for this purpose.
In the judiciary, we have tremendous work ongoing to make the judiciary more efficient, more reliable, to ensure that the judiciary is placed in a modern frame, and not only work in terms of physical infrastructure, investment in equipment and so on, but work in terms of ensuring we have the right human asset deployed to meet the requirements of our country.
The first cohort of members of the Law Reform Commission were sworn in on January 23, 2024, while members of the Constitutional Reform Commission were sworn in on April 3, 2024. Trishelle Silbers, Evening News.
We are now joined by Gerald Bryan, who reports that the United States Embassy in Guyana has made clear its commitment to bringing more leading American companies to Guyana, including companies that can share knowledge and expertise with local companies and make major contributions in areas such as construction.
On Tuesday, a U.S. Embassy conference saw discussions on digitization and the use of artificial intelligence in the construction sector. Senior Commercial Officer of the U.S. Embassy, Danielle Gaines, was present and spoke about the Embassy's work bringing U.S. companies to Guyana.
President Ali often states that the United States is the preferred partner in Guyana's development, and we take such great pride in that. And so each and every day we continue to work and show up and bring leading firms to Guyana to share knowledge and to also serve as potential partners for Guyanese companies.
For instance, Gaines spoke of the potential transformation that artificial intelligence and digitization can usher into various sectors. One such sector is the construction sector.
I know the Honorable Minister can discuss this in greater detail than me, but when I look at modern and affordable housing to all of the roads and bridges and hospitals that Guyana is developing. If we can use the power of AI into our workflow, it's going to hold so much promise. So whether it's optimizing construction schedules, predicting equipment maintenance needs, or even just assessing project risks, AI is revolutionizing how we approach project management and the construction space.
Meanwhile, Public Works Minister Juan Edgell spoke about how digitization can help the construction process. He zeroed in on the design phase.
We have to be able to use the technology that is available to drive us into the future. But that technology must also be able to communicate with us that our values, the things that we really cherish, must never be lost. So it's not just about being modern. It's being modern in an environment where your culture and your own niche is not lost.
He also announced that the Guyana Online Academy of Learning, GOAL, would be facilitating engineers and lawyers from the AG chambers to do courses on the International Federation of Consulting Engineers.
I'm happy to announce tonight that through GOAL, the Guyana Online Academy of Learning, the government of Guyana has just made it possible by paying for our engineers, lawyers from the Attorney General chambers, and technicians who have to do contract management to do special courses in understanding FIDIC rules and FIDIC applications.
Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News.
Once again, here is Jarrell Bryan, this time to report that the second cost oil audit of ExxonMobil's 2018 to 2020 expenses remains an open book, as the government is still in talks with the oil giant to clarify certain points raised by the auditors, comprising a consortium of local and international firms.
This was clarified by Vice President JAGDEO during his press conference last week while giving an update on the cost oil audits. There have been 3 so far. With regards to the second one, covering the years 2018 to 2020, JAGDEO explained that the government is still verifying certain details in the audit.
The second one, they still are in the back. They still have been writing EXXON and awaiting response on a lot of the issues that you have serialized in the Kaieteur News. And now and I hope you acknowledge that it was we who released both audits. So they're no longer secret documents. They're no longer secret documents, the audits have been released.
This second audit was carried out by a consortium of local and international firms. Guyanese firms Ramdial & Haynes Chartered Accounting, Vitality Accounting and Consultancy, and Eclissar had partnered with Oklahoma-based Martindale Consultants and Swiss-based SGS to conduct the audit. When it comes to the first audit, JAGDEO said that it should have been closed by now, since the government has already determined it will go to arbitration with EXXON.
The last conversation I had on this matter was that we need to close the first audit. Close it first. You need to formally say. So I have to find out if that was done. And it should have been done because that was about 3 weeks ago. That they had to write and say, we have a difference of opinion over 214 million now. So that letter closing it with EXXON. So there's no room for negotiation anymore. That's clear. Then you trigger the procedures according to the PSA. You try to meet to see through maybe a mediator to see if you can close the gap, and if not, you go to full arbitration.
The first audit was done in 2019 by British firm IHS Markit, covering the years between 1999 and 2017. In that audit, some US $214.4 million was flagged as questionable costs. Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News.
The Georgetown Mayor and City Council is urging vendors to respect the position of businesses that have written to the municipality for the removal of stalls and other encumbrances surrounding their premises. This call was issued by GM&CC Town Clerk Candace Nelson, who explained that Council will take defiant vendors to court for plying their trade outside business premises after being evicted. Here are the details from Trishelle Sobers.
Town Clerk Candice Nelson said several persons were contacted by the City Constabulary Department and asked to desist from returning to business premises, who the council has settled matters with. However, following their refusal to do so, those individuals were summoned to court for violation. She explained that City Council is aware of the challenge posed due to the situation, especially since it continues to receive notices from businesses requesting that more vendors be removed. It is unknown at this time how many vendors will be affected, but the City Engineers Department is in talks with the various entities to resolve the issue.
As long as we are aware that persons go back after they were removed, the Constabulary Department summoned those persons to court. It's about respecting the order of the court as well as the council and the businesses, because persons were given notices, a very long notice, for their removal. And for those who did not remove, we had to step in and have those persons removed. Well, most of them removed, as a matter of fact, when we turned up to remove them. But it was explained to them that as a result of the court order, they cannot return to those positions.
As it relates to the relocation of vendors, Nelson disclosed that no plan has been finalized by the municipality just yet. She explained that the matter regarding eviction notices must be resolved first, so the council can examine the extent of damages and cater for those affected.
I know that there is something in the pipeline for the extension of the market to accommodate more vendors in that area, but that's the only thing I know that we have spoken about. That has not materialized just yet. I'm not sure when either, because of course we're speaking about finances. But I really don't want to give any person any reassurance at this time, because it would just be lying to persons, and I will not be doing that.
Only recently, the council removed vendors plying outside of Demico House in the Stabrook Market area, following an order from the High Court. Similar court orders were granted in favor of Discount Store on Regent Street, Georgetown, Munishwar Limited on Water Street, and Shamdas Kirpalani, located on Regent Street, Georgetown. Trishelle Silbers, Evening News.
Following the graduation of the 1,700 Gold Scholarship recipients, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh revealed that the government's heavy investment in the information and communications technology sector enabled the Guyanese to benefit from the Guyana Online Academy of Learning initiative. Michael Henry has more in this report.
The government of Guyana has invested heavily in the information and communications technology sector, enabling Guyanese to benefit from the Guyana Online Academy of Learning initiative. At the graduation ceremony of over 1,700 Gold Scholarship recipients, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh stated that students completed their courses with little or no financial constraints.
If one were to reflect at the comprehensiveness of this People's Progressive Party civic government's policy agenda, you might think of GOAL as a great initiative, but one of the first things that His Excellency the President did when he became President was to bring into law a new Telecommunications Act.
He explained that the legislation immediately laid the foundation and set the stage for greater competition in the telecommunications sector, thereby easing the financial burdens of students.
Bringing into law the new Telecommunications Act immediately laid the foundation and set the stage for greater competition in the telecommunications sector. It immediately resulted in more fiber optic cables being laid, including redundant fiber optic cable.
In addition to faster internet connection on mobile and residential services, the government has also reduced the cost of bandwidth across the country and removed the value-added tax on data and mobile devices, which was a burden for students.
In addition to that, we removed the value-added tax on data. We removed the value-added tax on devices, including cellular phones, because we recognize that some persons may be accessing GOAL programs from their laptops. Some may be accessing GOAL programs from their tablets, and some may be accessing GOAL programs from their cellular phones. And we recognized how important it was to ensure that we keep as affordable as possible the cost of accessing these programs.
Meanwhile, Education Minister Priya Manichan encouraged the graduates to ignore those who criticized the initiative and more so, those who attempted to distract the students from furthering their academic pursuits.
Negativity, naysayers, even as they themselves researched how to get on the program, they told you not to. And people unfortunately listened, and so they're not amongst you today. You didn't listen and you are triumphing today.
A total of 1,712 students, including young adults, single parents, mothers and fathers, have graduated from various courses that the PPPC government launched upon taking office. To date, billions of dollars have been pumped into the initiative, which targets 35,000 students within the first 5 years in office. Michelle Henry, The Evening News.
Coming up on the other side of the break, miner dies after pit collapses at FRENCHMAN BACKDAM, and no one should be left out of Guyana's massive transformation, says Minister Sukai. Please stay tuned.
What flavors does Oreo have around the world?
Oreo peanut butter.
Let me see. Oreo cajeta.
Here comes Oreo around the world, the promo that takes you on a family trip to taste the Oreo flavors available in Paris, New York, Mexico, or Rome. Register your packages at oreopromo.com.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
2 day and night facilities will be constructed in regions 2 and 4 to provide a safe space for the children of working parents. Monies will also be spent to rehabilitate and improve the facilities at the Sophia Care Center and Mahaika Children's Home. This $287 million investment is part of the 2024 national budget, which is supported by revenues earned from oil production.
So tasty. What a catch. With a caramel center. What a catch. And so much chocolate. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. With so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, you find caramel. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. What a catch. You know we love you. What a catch. Oh, 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 oh. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. What a catch.
Guys, I think I'm in love! Wow!
Yeah, I was looking at you too.
What? What are you talking about? I'm in the tiles. Where did you get them?
Oh, Mima Decor. Obviously the best tile store in Guyana. Come, let me take you there.
My kitchen, my bathroom, my floors. Mima Decor has everything. And the prices are great too.
So, girl, want to have a date now?
We can build on that.
What flavors does Oreo have around the world?
Oreo peanut butter.
Let me see. Oreo cajeta.
Here comes Oreo around the world, the promo that takes you on a family trip to taste the Oreo flavors available in Paris, New York, Mexico, or Rome. Register your packages at oreopromo.com.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
What flavors does Oreo have around the world?
Oreo peanut butter.
Let me see. Oreo cajeta.
Here comes Oreo around the world, the promo that takes you on a family trip to taste the Oreo flavors available in Paris, New York, Mexico, or Rome. Register your packages at oreopromo.com.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. A miner was killed on Friday at FRENCHMAN BACKDAM, Upper Demerara River, Region 10, after the pit in which he was working collapsed. The dead man has been identified as 27-year-old Leon Lykin of Zeelat, East Bank, Essequibo. While no official release has yet been issued on this unfortunate incident, the evening news understands that the deceased had been working with others in the pit when a section caved in. He was reportedly trapped by the falling debris while the others managed to escape. This fatality adds to a series of similar incidents over the years, highlighting the ongoing risk and dangers associated with mining pit operations, which have frequently led to deaths and injuries. At the regional flag-raising ceremony in Mahdia over the weekend, Amerindian Affairs Minister Pauline Sukai advocated for the unity of Guyana's citizens amidst the massive transformation that is happening countrywide. Michael Henry reports.
The feeling of oneness in our landscape and building a strong nation requires the support and the participation of everyone. No one should be left out.
That was Amerindian Affairs Minister Pauline Sukai during her address to those gathered at the event on Saturday. According to the minister, through the combined efforts of the Guyanese, the entire country can benefit immensely. She emphasized that no one is exempt from this progress.
It is possible to achieve. As a nation, we stood united in the controversy with Venezuela, as together we pledged, we committed to safeguard our country's sovereignty. I speak to Mahdia today and to say that none of us, none of you, I speak to Campbelltown, I speak to Subregion 2, no one is divorced from participating in our nation's development.
While referencing various transformative projects in the country, she encouraged personnel from various sectors to immerse themselves in the nation's progressive initiatives.
The private sector, the businessmen, the entrepreneurial sector must rise also to the opportunities which exist now, ensuring that productivity is more efficient and their service is of a high standard. The oil and gas sector, as an extractive sector, will produce revenues higher and above than any other sector produced in the past. However, we must be empowered, we must understand that a higher level of revenues to our country will be used for investment into the sectors that are sustainable.
Meanwhile, Sukai stated that youths will also be a part of the developmental works.
But our focus as a government is not only building our young people or young Guyanese, but we are also focused on ensuring that women, the elderly, students are all part of our attention, that they too are featuring on the agenda of our government.
Michelle Henry, The Evening News.
Despite being visually impaired, proprietor of Braff's manufacturing Easy Cook products, Lawrence Brathwaite has been able to successfully operate his business for several years. Brathwaite says he has taken on many challenges but has never contemplated giving up. With this message, he is encouraging other persons living with disabilities to not let their situation stop them from opening their businesses. Trishelle Sobers has this story.
Visually impaired businessman Lawrence Brathwaite was able to scale up his food manufacturing business after its opening 8 years ago, after being diagnosed with glaucoma. But before this, Brathwaite had to transition from the construction industry to make a living. As a result, he started to rear chickens, but that proven costly since he could not be involved in the active day-to-day running of the poultry business. Instead of giving up, he birthed Braff Manufacturing Easy Cook products, which range from porridges, pancake mix, fish cakes, and snacks. Brathwaite manages his business while his family handles packaging and logistics.
I would do most of the mixtures and so, and the sighted person, those are the ones who would put the labels on the bag, but I would involve even the packaging. All these are products that you only have to spend like five minutes in the kitchen, and you have products that can use immediately for breakfast.
According to Brathwaite, being visually impaired is not an impediment, and no disability should hinder the progress of someone who has a vision. He said the well-being of his loved ones is what motivated him to venture into the manufacturing industry.
The whole thing that prompted me is that I had a family to maintain, and I wanted something something productive to do so as to maintain my family. The response is good, but I still think I need some more exposure in terms of marketing, because I would, from time to time, people would compliment me about the packaging and so forth.
Over the years, Brathwaite has received support from various government agencies, including the Small Business Bureau and the Guyana Marketing Corporation, which played an integral role in helping him to upgrade the standard of his products, which can be accessed at several retail locations in Georgetown. He intends to have his products exported to other parts of the region. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
In a recent televised episode of Traffic and You, the Guyana Police Force clarified the regulations governing minibus operations, emphasizing that drivers can face charges for not having a conductor. Here are the details in this report.
Sergeant Virgil Paris, a guest on an episode of Traffic and You, stated that minibus drivers can be charged for not having a conductor. This directive aims to enhance passenger safety and ensure compliance with public transportation laws. He said that while certain minibuses can legally operate without a conductor, others must have one on board. The key determinant is the seating capacity and the licensing of the driver.
As it relates to minibus operator operating without conductor, some are allowed to operate without a conductor once it is a 14-seater and the driver is in possession of a conductor's license. The 15-seater minibuses, they must have a conductor with a conductor license. If they don't have a conductor, It simply means once the police is out there, and they should stop that minibus. And when questions are being put to the driver as to the whereabouts of the conductor and he cannot give an account, it simply means he will be charged with the offense of failing to carry a conductor.
Conductors play a vital role in managing passengers, ensuring orderly boarding and disembarking, and assisting the driver in maintaining road safety standards. In minibuses without conductors, passengers are often required to open and close the doors themselves, which can pose safety risks. Over the years, some drivers have developed a habit of operating their buses without conductors, despite the regulations. This practice not only violates the law, but also compromises passengers' safety. As such, minibus operators are urged to familiarize themselves with these regulations and ensure compliance to avoid potential legal repercussions. Lawanda McAllister for the Evening News.
As the government continues its multi-pronged approach to expanding energy infrastructure across the country, and especially to unserved and remote areas, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh on Saturday announced that the government would be providing electricity to new forests in East Kanji Region 6. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael has the story.
This is the first time the community will be receiving electricity through the Guyana Power and Light Company, GPL, and the fruition of this promise is expected by July of this year. This development follows community engagements between Minister Singh and residents of New Forest, during which the lack of electricity was raised. Residents of New Forest, which is considered a farming community and situated along the Kanji River in the upper East Kanji, have for years been calling on the government to provide electricity, noting that it has been severely hampering the progress of young children in that community. With the way much of the teaching is currently taking place, there is a great need for internet services and, by extension, electricity, residents have argued. Residents also alluded to the fact that the government has been giving solar panels to communities in other parts of the country that are not connected to the grid. On this note, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh, who has ministerial responsibilities for Region 6, said providing electricity to the community is in keeping with President Ali's directive that all communities that are near to the national grid and have a sufficient population must be provided with electricity.
So I've brought Mr. Jagnanan here, and I've instructed him on the President's behalf, because the President has said to me, ensure this matter is addressed immediately. I've instructed him to ensure that the poles are planted. I think some poles were planted previously, at least part of this. Not here. So I've that's going tomorrow. That's down the river, okay. I've instructed on the President's behalf that the poles be planted immediately and that the lines be laid along those poles and that the connections be made. And I've asked Mr. Jagger, and you need to push aggressively on this, because I would like this project to be completed before the end of July.
Meanwhile, the minister pointed out that in addition to ensuring that unserved remote communities receive electricity, the government has been reiterating its commitment to the cause of advancing renewable energy resources through the provision of solar panels units to various riverine and remote areas in the country, including those in the hinterland. Renewable energy is the key aspect of Guyana's low-carbon development agenda, and the government intends to utilize its access to low-carbon development energy resources as a means of decoupling its economic growth from using fossil fuel for energy. This will ensure that the rising demand is met and greenhouse gas emissions are kept low. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
The director of the Center for Local Business Development, Dr. Natasha Gaskin-Peters, has said that in the next 5 years, Guyana would need some 53,000 workers to support various sectors. In this regard, she noted that empowering women can help bridge this gap. Kelroy Williams tells us more.
Dr. Natasha Gaskin-Peters highlighted a labor assessment study conducted by the CLBD in collaboration with the University of Guyana, Greater Guyana Initiative, and several key government agencies showed that Guyana will need some 53,000 workers to support various sectors such as oil and gas, construction, transportation, and agriculture in the next 5 years.
We need over 53,000 plus new workers, and that's across only 5 sectors that we looked at. There are 22 sectors in the economy. Wow. So definitely there's a need for skilled talent because we're growing at such a fast pace.
One of the measures identified to alleviate the demand is to import labor, but Peters is adamant that Guyanese must take advantage of training programs that are available, while hinting that women can also take up positions in the local workforce.
In addition, I know, as you said, importation of labor, yes, but we also have to ensure that we train our Guyanese folks. We still have, and it goes back again to gender, quite a lot of women that are still within the unpaid work, even though we've made such significant progress.
Peters highlighted that by empowering these women, the demand for labor can be significantly reduced, emphasizing the need for women to branch out into more unconventional sectors such as construction. She further added that the government has rolled out several training initiatives as well as child support services, but noted that broadening these services will help more women to smoothly transition into the workforce, which will reduce the need for the importation of labor.
The government has started some initiatives in terms of training, as well as some of the child care support services. So broadening some of those initiatives would be quite good as we think forward how we get more and more women into the job market, because where our economy is growing, we really need all of the skills.
Additionally, Peters explained that the Center for Local Business Development, in collaboration with the Women's Chamber of Commerce and Industry Guyana, will be rolling out its 3rd edition of the Accelerator program. This program was developed to help women build their capacity in the sector that they're currently employed, while also helping them to grow their business and transition into some of these technical areas. The program is expected to be rolled out in June, and persons interested in enrolling into the program will be able to apply within the next 2 weeks. For the evening news, Kelroy Williams.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Wednesday, May 29, 2024 at 22 hours for 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 8 hours 25 on Wednesday, May 29, 2024, also for 1.5 hours.
Joseph Moti urged Guyanese to support West Indies in ICC T20 tournament. This and more coming up in the Sportcast, sponsored by Macorp.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Furnishing your apartment complex. Kissoon's local and imported line of living room, bedroom, and dining room furniture will have heads turning. Shop in store today. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
In today's tough driving conditions, every engine faces three powerful enemies: engine heat, pollutants, and frequent short trips. Each factor is a direct cause of engine sludge, a buildup of dirt that can block vital oilways. This triple threat demands triple protection. Castrol GTX's Triple Protect Power is engineered to fight these three main causes of engine sludge.
What flavors does Oreo have around the world?
Oreo peanut butter.
Let me see. Oreo cajeta.
Here comes Oreo around the world, the promo that takes you on a family trip to taste the Oreo flavors available in Paris, New York, Mexico, or Rome. Register your packages at oreopromo.com.